Hello everybody, and just here, and welcome back to Shangri-La Frontier episode 9, if I'm not mistaken. I am not. It is indeed episode 9, in which Sanraku will make it to the new city, probably. And I just noticed that it looks like I have a little bit of a neck beard. Yeah, I'm trying to grow it out a little so that I can have a fuller goatee or whatever it's called, but right now I have an egg beard. Oh well, I'm gonna have to live with that, I guess. So, what happened in the previous episode? In the previous episode, Sanraku completed the trials of the Vorpal Soul. He defeated, well, not defeated the tree mage thing, but rather outsmarted it and outlasted it, right? Because it was supposed to last for 5 minutes. He grabbed the staff the tree had, chucked it away, and by the time the treant went to retrieve it, the timer ticked down and Sanraku won. And his color was removed, so now he gains XP normally. He can finally gain levels properly, and thus he will be able to equip higher level gear, whatever gear there is left to equip. Because we have to remember that he only has, like, what, head slot, neck slot, and I guess that's it. Open maybe pants slot, assuming his shorts are an equipment item and not just something that character model has in their naked form, because that's also plausible. What happened then? Then Sanraku went to gather some gear. He bought a head gear piece that covers his whole body so that he can be mostly whatchamacallit, so that people won't recognize him, is how I'm gonna say it, because the nameplates show only in close proximity, so nobody will be able to notice that it's him from larger distance away. And under that disguise, he purchased some consumables, some other necessary items, some mana potions for Emul, some health potions, etc, etc, etc. They are headed towards the next city over. They seem to be going in order, right? Sure, Sanraku skipped Firstia, but after Firstia, it seems like he's going in proper order instead of jumping straight to the divine ruins of godly divinity or whatever they are called. And because, let's face it, there's probably going to be a lot of people there, and Sanraku wants to avoid crowds. And at the end, we noticed Rei watching him. We don't know if she recognized that it's Sanraku, or she didn't. Is she going to approach? Is she not going to approach? Is Sanraku going to retreat to Rabituza, escaping from her? What's going to happen exactly? We don't know that. We only know that Rei is here, she's watching Sanraku, and that Sanraku's goal is the next city over. So what's gonna happen in today's episode? I don't know. Anything and anything. Anything and anything. Good English here. Anything and everything can honestly happen. So how about we just see exactly what happens, right? To do that, you will need your subs, of course, to follow along with me. I'm gonna need my sound to hear what's going on in the show, and I'm also gonna have to ask you guys for your support. Support the channel if you want monetarily on Patreon or YouTube down below, or not. Share my content, spread the word, costs you nothing, helps a lot. And with that, we can start watching episode 9 of Shangri-La Frontier in 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, we're not starting with the usual intro, it seems. Pirate Cove of some sort. A guild hideout. Okay, Ashrakai hideout. Or headquarters. Is that where Pencilgon leaves the guild or something? To join Sanaraku? Ah, of course. This system, sure, but he knows game plenty. That, italicized that. What do you mean by that? Oh, another world boss besides the Lycagon. Well, we know that just fighting the world boss is enough to start some unique scenario. You don't necessarily need to beat it. She's leaving the guild. Oh, yeah, hit him back with it. Okay, maybe not leaving the guild, but she's very much going on her own. Oh. She's going to bet on Sanraku, I would assume. And I guess their guild logo is also this monster, just like Ray's guild has the Lycagon. And there's the opening. I was waiting for an opportunity to clean my glasses. I was afraid there's not gonna be an OP, and I'm gonna have to watch this whole episode in a haze. But no, thankfully. I'm probably gonna have to get a new pair sometime. They're... yeah, they're pretty scratched up. Well, I had those glasses for like... shit, 6 years now? 5, 6 years, something like that. So yeah, it's probably high time to get a new pair. And we finally know who's the guy sitting on a chest. It's the leader of the Ashurakai. We still don't know the twin-tail blonde. Okay. Back to Sanraku? Back to Sanraku. Okay, so a little bit of a recap, I guess. Yep, very much. The very same. No, she wants to step on her more. And of course he's running. And chase music kicks in. And coincidentally, they are here. I love the design with the emoting mask. Don't you see the nameplate? Unfortunately, Rei is also here. Oh, those guys are gonna die real quick again. And another hunt is on. Ah, a misdirection. Yep. Makes sense. Can't you just hide in Rabituza temporarily, wait for them to run past you towards the Iron Gate or whatever, emerge from Rabituza and do a U-turn towards their actual... I mean, hey, great camouflage. I mean, he's not entirely incorrect. And that's where he meets Pencilgon? No, that's where he meets Rei. She knows you well, simple as. Yep. Finally, friend request. Okay. I really thought there's gonna be much more chasing each other around. Or rather, Rei chasing after Sanaraku, but no. Friend request already, and she actually speaks. Unexpected, but not unwelcome. Yeah. Just accept it, man. Don't overthink it. And you're not observant whatsoever, Sanraku. Accept? Or deny? Okay, accept. There we go. You're officially friends. It's just a couple steps away from marriage. You're making strides, girl. You're making strides. Ah, overthinking. Come on, Sanraku, don't be dense. This is not Infinite Stratos. Okay, that's a good start. Yeah. I mean, maybe not stronger, but it's, you know, a different route. Right, we still don't know what the fuck Vorpal Soul is, do we? Suspicious. Okay, I'm glad she's not entering some sort of a jealous girlfriend mode. Oh no, Saraku-san took an NPC as his female companion. I'll show her yet. Right? I'm glad it's not the case. It's amazing seeing this sort of an animation in someone wearing this heavy, bulky gear, and you can probably take off the bedsheet already. Exactly. And we don't get to see his face. Of course we don't. But this is paradise for a change. With plenty of CG insects. Would this be the first big use of CG in this show? Because I can't remember any other monster being CG. So probably. Okay, I guess it does get drawn when it matters. A Hercules beetle, quad beetle, sure, that also works. Yeah, legit. Now find the local city. Bet how big of a chance is that the rest of the swarm will attack him when he attacks this papillon or whatever it's called. Oh. Not gonna be that easy, huh? Okay. Easy. Probably slows down enemies or something. And it's probably gonna be useful in the upcoming battle. I need to come back to playing some MMO. I've been having some Path of Exile itch recently. Yeah, makes sense. And the knife still counts as a melee weapon. Oh, it's consumable. Okay. You can probably get some a pair of daggers out of this mantis, right? Those claw appendages. Area boss? No, just the beetle. Unless the beetle is the boss. Could probably make for some nice armor if you could equip it. The queen probably has some nice drops. Maybe you could use the stingers as a couple of daggers. Live commentary. The bees aren't really doing much, are they? For sure. I mean, she's not wrong. It is a very large bug. Okay, so the stingers do have some effect. Straight for the queen. Interesting how monsters in this game have some infighting between them. Means you could potentially exploit it. The beetle is weakened now. You can finish it off and get some loot. And it sees you. Don't run. That's not very Vorpal Soul of you. And another great track comes in. I mean, you can get some beetle items instead. Oh, you can distract it. I guess that also works. Probably weak spot. Guaranteed crit. Yep. Multiple guaranteed crits, actually. I love this text on screen. Critical, critical, critical. Ooh, that's some nice loot. Mandibles could probably be turned into daggers. Carapace into armor. Elytra into a glider or something. Does this game have gliders? Harumph desua. Okay, not even stopping by any city, any hub area, nothing, just going straight for the area boss. Sure. Problem is, if you fail, you get all the way back to Third Rima. And there are people in Third Rima who are looking for you, so it would be better to reach Fortia first and then go for the area boss, so that you get sent back to Fortia and the people from Third Rima lose track of you. But Sanraku is combat hungry, battle hungry, so of course he's gonna go for the area boss, because why not? Besides, he's not looking for a smooth sailing experience, he's looking for excitement. Who's the blonde twin-tail girl? That's what I wanna know. We still have absolutely no glimpse of her even yet. Is she even on the list of characters? Kei Uomi. Is that her? Maybe. I know. And the minis. And she's a model. She really puts a lot of work into making her in-game avatars look exactly like her, doesn't she? She's anything but pure. Exactly. She makes up for her daily life in the virtual world. Oh, that's it. Only one mini today. Okay, sure. That's fine. That is perfectly fine, actually. Okay, let's watch it again, shall we? Yes, we shall. You don't have a choice. The headquarters of Ashura Kai. Why didn't you do it yourself then? Something tells me that this guy isn't quite as strong as he claims to be. I've got better things to do. It really oozes of that my girlfriend goes to another school energy, right? You can't meet her, right? It really oozes that energy. He is a hard ass in the game, but probably not that good of a player, or maybe not that good of a like on a meta standpoint, right? I don't know, he loses his cool easily or something. I don't know. It really seems like there's something more to him, though. That he's not really. He shouldn't be in a position of being the leader of a player killing guild. It might be an 8-year-old boy, for all we know, just role playing as this, ruthless leader of the player killing group. Seriously, to unlock the elite jobs, you've got to at least make it to 6 borough. How many times do they have to tell people this? Maybe we should put it on the FAQ, of course. I have a question for our Steam leaders. Oh yeah, that's the second ale talking bunny. The rabbit is definitely the key to some unique stuff. Little bit funny piece of trivia, I know. An anecdote. I used to be very active on a certain Polish RPG Maker forum back in the days when I was making some RPG Maker projects, and we eventually made a step above FAQ. It was called IRAQ, IRAQ, intensively repeated annoying questions, and we would just send people to Iraq. It was funny back then. Just get the information from him. Shouldn't we figure out how to deal with that first? Another world boss that the Ashurakai know of. Which is interesting that this world boss apparently is on their guild banner. It seems there's a skull on it. They are a PK focused guild, right? PvP focused guild, and yet they have some special interest in a world boss, which is interesting. And yet he claims that unique monsters aren't made to be beatable for some reason. Just encountering it nabs us experience, so if we play our cards right, we can use it to increase Ashurakai's battle power. Sure, okay. So what? Just encountering this monster gives you some XP? If so, that's very much exploitable. Unless the conditions for its appearance are, I know, it can be summoned only once a week or something, then sure, it makes more sense. Nothing to be gained by fighting that thing. So I guess they don't know the thing that Sanraku now knows, that just encountering the beast and fighting it to your fullest might get you something. If you fulfill a certain condition during combat, you already can unlock some unique scenario. You don't have to win. You just have to lose in a very specific way, which is interesting. I wonder if Sanraku is actually going to go after the other world bosses and also going to lose to them in a specific way. Where is Shangri-La? There it is. Sanraku loses to other world bosses in a specific way and unlocks more scenarios. Another thing that's plausible is that during their offline or out of Shangri-La meeting, he reveals to Pensilgon and the other dude the secret of his unique scenario, and perhaps Pensilgon goes after this skeleton monster and loses in a specific way and gains her own unique scenario. That would be interesting. Pensilgon learns of Sanraku's experience. She gains a unique scenario by losing to Skele boss. That's plausible. And of course it really doesn't sit well with her that they're just sitting around doing nothing, figuring out how to increase their power, their strength, or whatever. She joined a PvP guild and they're not doing much PvP, do they? Avoiding danger, seeking stability, that's not Ashurakai. The current Ashurakai can't even defeat that world boss, so what the fuck kind of a guild did I join? I'm putting my neck on the line for one little NPC. Who does she mean by that little NPC? Emil? Might be. I think she will join Sanraku precisely because she figures out that she has higher chances of beating that unique monster and, in general, having some excitement in the game by joining Sanraku rather than by staying in a guild that's been stagnating for some time now. One of the 7 Colossi. Yep. OP. Bit of a recap. Of course, running away from Rei, running away from the others. And this is great. Uses the fact that he looks like a bedsheet by masking himself as a bedsheet. Perfect. You must always prepare at least one obvious lie, one truth that seems like a lie, and one lie that seems truthful. Yeah, that's generally good advice when you want to lie. That's a lot of definition in his eyes. And of course, he got a friend request, but is overthinking it a lot. A whole lot. This reminds me of some other anime character, but I can't quite recall. Another anime character that really just overthinks absolutely everything. I don't think I'm talking about Momonga from Overlord. Someone else entirely. But I can't quite recall. Whatever, doesn't matter really. But yeah, reminds me of someone. If that was the case, I'd be already cut in half. Yeah. Overthinking, not looking at her behavior. It's a dead giveaway that she has absolutely no, evil intentions. And he agrees. Sanaraku has been added to your friends list. Exactly what she wanted. She's gonna sleep soundly tonight. Or she's not gonna. That's also a possibility. Travel to the forest grotto first, so that's probably where Sanraku is. Okay, that's a nice thinking. Of course, overthinking it. And Rei is really understanding that he actually wants to go through the game himself. He's this kind of a player. He doesn't want to be carried. I honestly, at every step of this interaction, I expected something bad to happen or something tropey. I fully expected Sanraku to reject the friend request, and they're gonna have to keep chasing each other, or, well, Rei is gonna have to keep chasing after Sanraku still. I expected someone to interrupt them, like those PvP people, and Sanraku is going to bail without accepting or denying the request, just leaving her on red. I fully expected Rei to be completely dejected by the fact that Sanraku doesn't want her help, but she turned out to be very understanding. I completely expected her to be jealous of Emul, but she actually noticed that Emul is an NPC, so there's nothing to be jealous of. It's like, I was expecting all the romance tropes that I came to expect from anime, and that annoy me to no end, and there was none of it. There was none of it. Now, they still haven't formed a party or anything of the sort, right? But the friendship request has been accepted. That's already a step forward. That's already much further than I expected them to go by this point. I fully expected this to be a comic relief side plot kind of a thing, right? For the next 50 episodes, for the next 7 seasons. The running gag would be that Rei finds Sanraku and she wants to say something, but oh no, someone interrupts them. Will she be able to ask him to be her friend next time? Tune in next week and see for yourself. I fully expected something like that. But no, it's just nice. It's just good. It's just cool. It's fresh, original. Love it. I've made progress, Mana-san. Indeed, you did. This is great. Her twirling and hopping in heavy armor. We don't get to see his face, of course. Prismatic Forest. I believe this is legit the first use of CG in this show. And you can tell because it's animated on once. If it wasn't animated on once, it would be harder to see that it's CG, I think. Yeah. But also the way the butterfly wings are animated. In anime, when you animate wings or something, you very rarely get them to like this position, because then you have to draw a line on the screen and it doesn't look like anything. You animate from this position to this position, right? One frame, second frame, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. If you animate on once, but you know what I mean, right? Meanwhile, CG doesn't have that. You animate the model, and whichever frame the renderer hits, that's the frame that gets rendered. And if the wing happens to just be a line seen as a line on the screen, then, well, it's gonna be that way because that's how the animation is set up. It doesn't look bad though, so it's kind of whatever. But it's interesting that this is like the first use of CG in this show that we see so far. There hasn't been anything else that was CG yet. At least not that I could see. Perhaps something in the background, perhaps some, I don't know, crowd in the city, or maybe some buildings or something, but I didn't notice it, if that was the case. I know for sure that Lycagon, the snake, and pretty much every other monster was drawn, so I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong though, because I might be misremembering something. But they are drawn when it matters, right? It's a close-up, it's drawn, it's no longer CG. Storage Papillon, and a nice little ecosystem in the city. I fully expected this to be played a little bit more for laughs. Like Sanraku trying and trying and trying and constantly not being able to hit, and, you know, getting tired, panting, and the butterfly just flies away unscathed. I fully expected this to be a comedic scene, but no, he manages to strike it and grabs the nectar storage container. Let's keep adding... What? Let's keep gathering up those item drops. Yeah, generally a good idea. You go to a new zone, you grab whatever there is to grab. It might be useful in the next hub city, it might not. I know, but it's nice to grab those things. This is cool that there are consumable items, at least consumable ranged items that he can use. He's not going to be entirely limited to melee. He has some throwing knives, maybe like darts or shurikens or thrown bombs or something like that. Is going to make up for a lot of his deficiency as a melee fighter who doesn't really have a choice when it comes to his equipment. Storage Papillon, Nectar Pouch, Empire Worker, Bee Pollen, Hair, Bee Stinger, Bee Mandible, Stealth Wing, Scythe Arm. I'm already looking for some uses, and stingers and scythe arms definitely look like materials for weapons. Mandibles, arguably as well. Stealth wing. I know, some stealth boots or something, probably, maybe. And then the beetle. This is cool, that monsters fight with each other. You maybe not very, but fairly rarely, or rather, you don't see it often in games. Monsters fighting with each other. Last time I saw something like that was, I think, I know, Warframe, Kubros fighting, Wild Kubros fighting Grenier. Maybe some other games since then, but that's the example that I remember. That's cool. That's a nice bit of flavor of world building, right? That it's not player versus the world, but the world is also a living, breathing ecosystem. And of course, commentary. Emul doesn't know how to do that. It's a very large bag. Poor Emul. Sanraku, just say sorry and pat her head, please. I can't look at sad Emul. very fast for something this massive. And of course notices them. But Sanraku knows how to exploit the weakness. I love this text flying on the screen. I already said that. It's a great effect. It's really a great effect. And horn, mandible, shell, elytron, mandible, and horn, possibly weapons, shell, armor, elytron, glider, assuming this game has those. An inventory full of items now, so you probably should go to the city to sell what you don't need and maybe get some new equipment. Exploiting the labor of others doesn't quite seem fair to me. It's a bug-eat-bug world. Yeah, makes sense. This is great. Even a harumph, she ends in Desua. The area boss is a spider, clown spider. Should you really be fighting the clown spider, the area boss with your equipment full? You're gonna have to trash some of those items you picked up to get the loot from the area boss, which really doesn't seem like that great of an idea. You should probably visit the city first. But I don't know. Maybe they need to pass through this area to get to the next city. That's actually not impossible. The intent of the design here is that you venture into this area and then go back to Third Rima to sell your stuff, and then you go back, and eventually you can go past the area boss, and then you can go to Forthia through the boss's lair. But Sanraku doesn't want to go back to Third Rima, so he has to punch through the boss's lair in one go. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. And the mini, we learn about Kuon Amane, the pencil gun. A model. Someone really wanted to draw some nice clothes. That's their excuse for making this mini. Someone just wanted to draw Amane wearing some nice clothes. And I can understand that. And of course, she makes up for her day-to-day stresses of her life by getting into the game and murdering people. And she really looks pretty much exactly the same, except her eyes and her hair are averaged out, right? Red eyes, blue hair, purple eyes, purple, blurple eyes, purple hair. She mostly looks the same. Do people not recognize her in the game? She becomes a player killer. Just another murder-filled day. Hee hee. And that's it. That's the episode. We are under 50 minutes. Wow. That was fast. That was fast mostly because the intro wasn't as long as usual, was it? What was it, like 4 or 5 minutes, something thereabouts? But yeah, another cool episode. I kind of wanted to call it a transitionary episode, kind of like with the latest episode of Frieren, I called it that, right? The transition between one arc and another. Except in case of Frieren, it's not a transition episode, it's a transition arc, rather, if you can call it a transition arc and not just a regular arc. So I don't want to use the same term here, because this is still very much the show that I signed up for. It's not an episode of Slice of Lifey downtime, right? It's still Shangri-La Frontier, so I can't fully call it a transitional episode. But still, we are kinda between the arcs. Maybe. Kinda seems that way to me. Or maybe not. Maybe we are entering the arc of the Clown Spider. Or maybe the fourth year arc. Or maybe there aren't really arcs in this show, because I really would be hard-pressed to figure out, like, particular arcs here. And if there were any, they would last for like 2-3 episodes, so not that long for an arc, honestly. But yeah, whatever, that's like technicalities. Good episode on its own merit. We don't have to judge everything by the context of the whole show, but I mean, even by the context of the whole show, it's just a good episode. There's nothing more to say about it, really. I particularly like how well we solve, quote unquote, the thing with Rei chasing after Sanraku, that she actually manages to chase him down and add him to his friends list, and there isn't any big drama that happens. There isn't any cog blocking ensuing, and then she has to chase Sanraku again. Nothing of the sort. It just goes well. It really seems like this show is very well researched, not just in the ways of games and MMOs, but also well researched in the way of like human interactions, right? Watching plenty of anime, I very often get the feeling that characters don't actually behave like people. That's actually one of the biggest praises that I guess I can give to character writing in a show, saying that characters in the show feel like actual people. And in this case, they feel like actual people, right? Rei doesn't get suddenly jealous, irrationally jealous of Emul. Sanraku doesn't deny the friend request for no reason. I know Towa Pencilgon is internally consistent. She wants fun, she wants challenge, she wants to do crazy stuff, and her clan is stagnating, so she will probably leave that clan. She's not going to stay there forever. It really works. People's like motivations and the way they go about playing the game and living their life, it just works. It just works. This show really works on so many levels. I would lie if I said I'm not a little bit afraid, though. We managed to get this far without any CG, and now CG appears. I don't want to say that it might point to, production issues or something, because it might very well just not. It's not a given. But it does stir that little bit of fear in me that, oh, they didn't have enough time to draw those insects. Or, oh, they didn't have enough budget to pay people to draw them, or something like that. It might have just been a conscious decision, right? There's going to be a lot of those insects, so to make the production easier, we're just gonna make one model in CG and we're just gonna copy paste it and animate it with slight like phase difference so that they flap their wings differently. It might very well be, but some primal part of my brain flared up at the appearance of CG. It's probably nothing. It's, again, probably just a conscious choice. But I thought it was worth mentioning that it just stirred some primal fear in me. And I think that's it. I don't think I have anything more to say on the topic of this episode, but maybe you guys do, and if so, say so in the comments down below. What did you think of this episode, of my reaction, my theories, stuff like that? No spoilers, please. Spoilers can go to my Discord here, also in the description below. Like this video if you liked it, subscribe to the channel to be notified of future videos of not only Shangri-La but also Magia Record, Shy, Freeren, Helk, Shield Hero, and plenty of others coming in the future. Click the bell to be notified of when I go live, because I do stream sometimes. Support the channel if you want monetarily on Patreon down below, where for $10 a month you get early access to non-seasonal shows like Magia Record, and for just $1 you get a role on the Discord and a place in the credits. You can also support me directly on YouTube itself via memberships, super thanks, stuff like that. And if you don't want to spend any money whatsoever, you don't have to. Share my content, spread the word. It costs you absolutely nothing and helps the channel a lot. And now, with all of that out of the way, that's gonna be it from me for today. So as always, you guys do the good stuff, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. Cheers! And here's the list of my wonderful patrons. QB without the net, Decapur Survivor, Zayrainer, Akumaster, David, Dr. Watt, Marsh, Gale, Fassel, and Hans Peter. And you can join them without having to fight a beetle.